Team Alabama, we are ready for Chapter 12 in the Lottery Rose. Please find it on your Chromebook and be ready to read with me. Again, Chapter 12, page 149. Please be adding to your vocab if you haven't reached your 10 and your 10 questions. Chapter 12. The boys who didn't care to try out for roles in the skits Mrs. Harper was directing were given the privilege of sitting in the auditorium during rehearsals and listening to the others. Many of these observers planned to help with scenery, to print programs, or to become part-time stage managers. Georgie Burgess planned to do nothing in connection with the drama class, but during the first few weeks after the beginning of the class, he never missed a single rehearsal, period. Everything about the stage directions fascinated him. How a change of tone or a facial expression was worth any number of words. How every aside supposedly muttered must all the same be enunciated, to speak very clearly, enunciated, so that no one in the audience missed it. He listened to the lines of each skit and learned them, certain in some cases that his own delivery of them in the seclusion of his room was better than that of the struggling actors trying to follow Mrs. Harper's directions. When he knew all the lines perfectly, Georgie stopped sitting in on rehearsals and went down to the Banyan Tree Playhouse to be an actor all by himself. Timothy, however, kept him supplied with gossip from the dressing room of the auditorium. You know how gung-ho Kevin was about getting the part of Alice in the Mad Tea Party? Timothy asked one evening as he and Georgie sat on the front steps and talked together. Well, now he ain't so sure. He's beginning to get scared of wearing a dress and a girl wig in front of all the big boys in the school. He ought to thought about that a long time ago, Georgie remarked wisely, and then he turned to Timothy to face Timothy. Would you take the part of Alice, Tim? If I had one speck of a chance, I would. Mrs. Harper gets real sore at guys that are afraid to take girl roles. She said, look, in the olden days, all the roles of ladies was took by boys. She said, it's stupid to laugh about it, and if anyone does, she's going to bounce him out of the play, just like that. Timothy snapped his fingers to show the speed with which Mrs. Harper would carry out her threat. She'd do it, too. He continued, I like her and she's okay, but boy, can she be tough. Georgie silently agreed. He had reason to remember when Mrs. Harper had been tough. I wish you'd try out for a part, Georgie, Timothy said after a while. You'd make a much better John Silver than Larry Lawrence does. Larry's afraid to let himself go. And like Mrs. Harper says, if you're John Silver, you've got to behave like a pirate. I don't see why you didn't try out for one of the roles. So you don't like Mrs. Harper, okay? So you bite off your nose to spite your face? I just don't like plays, Georgie lied evenly. I couldn't stand acting in a stupid play. Well, I like 'em, Timothy answered, and continued complacently. I not only like 'em, but I'm pretty good in 'em, too. Mrs. Harper says that my white rabbit, the one that's late for his appointment with the Duchess, is real good. I saw her grin and wink at Sister Dolores once when I was going strong. After a while, it seemed that all of his friends, boys and adults as well, were involved one way or another in the drama class. Sister Dolores was helping Mrs. Harper in a dozen ways, and Mr. Collier was busy writing more skits for the following term. Rosita was sewing costumes, and even Amanda apparently knew what was going on. My lands, Georgie, she teased one afternoon, why is your face so long these days? You kicking yourself for not taking part in one of the plays over at your school? He gave Amanda a cold look and walked on with Robin down to the playhouse. I could be in one of those silly plays if I wanted to, Robin. I know all the lines. I could be Tom Sawyer or Jim Hawkins or John Silver or the Mad Hatter. I could be Alice, too, and I wouldn't be afraid to wear a dress or a girl wig either. But I won't. I wouldn't be in one of her plays if she coaxed me for a year. She couldn't make me be in one of them. Once, when Mr. Collier paid Georgie and Robin an unexpected call at the playhouse, he found Georgie delivering the lines of one skit after another and working with pretend props, changing from a scowling pirate to a scheming Tom Sawyer with apparent ease. Robin sat quietly watching with a puzzled expression, as if this new Georgie amazed him. Mr. Collier clapped lightly as Georgie finished whitewashing an imaginary fence and sat down beside Robin. "That was very good, Georgie. Can you do the Mad Tea Party for me?" Georgie was too pleased by the grandfather's praise to show the usual sullenness that appeared whenever the plays were mentioned. Without hesitation, he became a Mad Hatter, a March Hare, a Dormouse, and a confused Alice. It was fun. He forgot to be shy or afraid, as he often was. He even forgot that he was Georgie Burgess. At the end of the performance, Mr. Collier frowned slightly with a puzzled look on his face. "I can't understand, Georgie. Why did you learn all these lines and gestures and stage behavior if you don't like